On Talk Time, we are dissecting the role of citizens in ensuring a free and fair local government elections in Lagos State. Well, as we speak, Lagosians are preparing for the forthcoming local government, which is slated for the 12th of July, the year 2025. And I can tell you, as I speak right now, the chairman of the Lagos State Independent Electoral Commission, Honorable Justice Bola Okikiolu Igile, has promised that she's going to be putting in place, perhaps the freest and the fairest kind of elections. But anyway, we'll be dissecting all of that by the time things unfold. But this morning, I'm bringing a guest, someone who is no stranger to the microphone, who will be able to talk us through, especially on the relevance of local government in today's, government structure. He's been here before. Honorable Kolawole Taiwo is former member, House of Representatives at the National Assembly, and he's also former Deputy Speaker of the Lagos State House of Assembly. Honorable Kola Taiwo, nice to have you in the building once again. Good morning.
Thank you. Good morning, Victor.
And you're welcome.
Thank you.
Great. So, 7 days from now, Lagosians will be hitting the polls, and they will be talking about how to elect leaders at the local government elections. But I need you to just share your perspective on the importance of local governments in not just in Lagos but across the country. How significant are these local government structures?
Thank you very much. Let me start by, first of all, congratulating you on the award.
Thank you.
I think you deserve it.
Thank you so much, Honorable.
Thank you.
All right.
The local government is, if not the most important of all the arms, because people live there. Nobody lives at the state or federal level. It's just for administrative convenience. But that is where the people live. And that is where the people feel the impact of effective and non-effective local government administration. Therefore, we cannot overemphasize that is the closest to the people.
Right.
And if they are working. For instance, I'm from a local government in the LCD in Lagos.
All right.
That is actually performing. And if I tell you where I come from, you'll be shocked.
Where is that?
I'm from Ifelodun. That's Amukoko.
Okay.
Ifelodun of Ajiromi Ifelodun.
All right.
And if you go there is no road, or virtually all the roads have been tarred. And we have access, and you don't have problems. You don't even need to pass through the high streets.
Okay, so I know that, like you said, it's supposed to be perhaps the most important, but a lot of times it is the least considered. So why is that so?
Well, it's the people. Look at you talk about the retired justice calling on people. She's ready to conduct the freest election. We have been seeing parties moving around, everybody campaigning. Then it's left for the people that will always come back and start complaining to do the right thing.
Okay.
And they should ask questions. This is the right time for residents to ask these people questions. Ask them tough questions. Let them tell them what they have in stock.
What we found in the past, Honorable Kola Taiwo, is that there's a lot of apathy when it comes to local government elections. It appears most people, not just in Lagos, across Nigeria, they do not believe in local government, especially when the issue of elections come to play. Why is that so?
I'm also shocked with the way people are always feeling about, and it's not about particular party. Any party in government will be accused that they are going to steal the votes and you are not going to do your civic responsibility of voting. And and even the parties, most of them are not serious about it. So, the last election, the general election, even the one that people say is always very serious, there are some parties that doesn't have party agents in most of the booths, and which means the fault start from there. And if people take the local government serious, particularly now that people are now talking about it, that is the closest to the people, is the most important to everybody.
All right.
And if you take it for levity, you blame nobody.
Okay, so the big question here, and I need you to be very, very frank as much as you can. So people do not really have faith in local government elections because they feel that it's just a dress rehearsal. I mean, they feel that any party that controls any state must surely win the local government election. What do you say to such observers?
I think you are right. There was a day I was on one of the programs and I was talking about the importance of even Supreme Court and where the cause their actions and inactions that led to where you have really pointed at. You know, I remember 2003 when PDP decided to take like virtually all the states in Southwest, and when they resumed government, they decided to do some illegalities that Supreme Court has the power to rebook them and return back to status quo. They fold their hands and make political judgments. Take for instance, the Constitution gave the House of Assembly to pass law on LASEC, for instance. That is SEC. Let me do SEC,
the State
Independent Electoral Commission.
Right.
And they have commissioners. And you know, when the new government comes to the state, they will dissolve such commission. And the people will seek redress, even to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court will not give their judgment. That was the beginning of the problem with the local government election. And because it's as if saying that a president will come and dissolve INEC, send all the commissioners away, and the Supreme Court will not make statements. And those things are against the Constitution. Constitution gave power of removal, and the only power of removal is not wholesale. If you see one of them that is not doing well, it's the House of Assembly that will even come with two-thirds to remove that person. Not an wholesale demolition of commission, constitutional commission. And that was the beginning. You know, when you dissolve them and you now bring your people will now do your bidding. And that weakens the elections at the local government.
So the question is, what did your assembly, I mean the National Assembly, what have they been able to do to change this? I mean, if we know that it's going to be having lots of political influence in appointing those that are supposed to be manning the local government elections, what has the National Assembly done to change that narrative?
No, it's the power to select or to confirm of SEC lies with the State House of Assembly, not National Assembly. But the problem is we have three arms of government. The legislative arms makes laws. It's the judiciary that interprets. And when the judiciary are not doing their bid the way they're supposed to do it, it becomes problematic. Because the National Assembly cannot interpret. You cannot make laws and interpret it yourself. And it's the executive that will execute the law. That's how it works.
Right.
And when one of them is not doing the right thing, and people, it's very difficult to notice the undoings at this Supreme Court, for instance, because they have the power of interpretation of the Constitution. If they didn't do it right, that thing will come back to us, and people will not see it when they are doing it. Therefore, the issue of the local government election, the problem starts with them not giving them, those people that approach them, the required the required interpretation and judgment they seek, and they make political judgment most of the time. And if they make political judgment, it affects people at the long run.
So in other words, this election will not be different?
We in Lagos, what have Lagos done? You know, Lagos, we are coming from the position of opposition, and you know, opposition government will always do the right thing, because they know that if they fail to do the right thing, the bigger government at the federal level will come with their big stick and demolish that thing using the normal instrument of law. So to encourage transparency, the first thing that Lagos does is that most of the time, if Lagos want to pick the head of LASEC, they always go for a retired judicial officer, right? And that knows the law. You know, that person knows the law, and therefore he must keep the law. You see, and that has been very good for us. And you know, even when the Attorney General of the Federation was preventing SCDAs in some states, he cannot come to us because we made proper laws of creation of local government. We carry out referendum. The law was tested at the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court says we have made a valid law. Therefore, it's very difficult to say that someone that has made a valid law should throw away his law. In Lagos, that thing subsists.
Right.
And the National Assembly that will have overturned that refuse to take their own action. If the National Assembly says, okay, we are not giving you this, we are not listening, instead of just keeping mute, because they know that they cannot do that. It's against even the Constitution, because the Constitution doesn't really give them the option when it comes to creation of local government. They only say they must make a consequential order for the listening of it.
So let's put it in perspective now. So we do say Nigeria has 774 local governments.
Plus Lagos.
So
not only Lagos, even plus Delta. It shows that we are not serious.
So what is the
Delta State,
right?
They have increased their local government since inception, 1999. They have refused to list it in the Constitution. And when we were there, I was there, I was part of National Assembly. I saw that it's so difficult sometimes. Because National Assembly is far from home. I always say people come. That's where you see independence of democracy. And if the opposition is not so strong, they may not be able to even control the National Assembly member of their own party.
Right. All right, Honorable, for us to get it right, some observers have said it's better that the states do not have their own independent electoral bodies. That why not INEC handle these local government elections for it to be much more credible? I
don't know where they are coming from, but I know that what we even need to do is to strengthen the state electoral commission, because they are close. That is where people live. They are the ones that are supposed to conduct election. INEC from Abuja will send somebody down to Lagos, and that person will be carrying the banner of INEC that I'm representing INEC. They are not INEC. They are not the chairman of INEC. Therefore, the passion the chairman of INEC will put it to it, because his name is attached to INEC, may not be seen in that person that is representing. But at the state level, we're supposed to strengthen all the state, because even in America, that will follow. All elections are done by the local election authority, not the federal. The federal only collect the result from the states.
Yes, but looking at Nigeria's peculiar situation, I mean, people have said for the state electoral commission, independent electoral commissions to handle these elections is going to carry a whole lot of political interference. I mean, some have said it's the governor's election, not the local government election.
Election is about politics. Therefore, you cannot remove politics from election. Yeah, it's about it, and I know that if you are a governor today, you may reign supreme. Tomorrow your party may lose, which we have seen in several states, and that one will come. If we have been doing the right thing, that will have put pay to all this. We will have seen a situation whereby the state governor may belong to another party, and the commission of SEC will belong to another party. Those two situations will come up with the best of election. But in a case where you don't even allow that to happen, that's why we have gotten ourselves to where we are.
All right, Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. This morning, we are looking at the forthcoming local government elections and, of course, the role that citizens can play. We touched base on that very, very shortly, but let's let you know that those of you within the Ijora-Olokpa corridor, palliative work is ongoing underneath the Ijola-Olokpa Bridge inwards Ido, and it's really, really affecting your movement. Backlog right now is somewhere around the Water Corporation. So take note of that if you are navigating through that corridor. Other areas are still looking pretty cool and calm. If you're making the journey to the island, the Third Milan Bridge is still very accessible, and if you want to make use of Ikorodu Road as well, it's also looking good. Mile 2 end, I understand movement from Rainbow, that's second Rainbow up to Mile 2 okay, down to Auto Wharf, inwards and outwards is still looking pretty good, very much in good shape. Movement from Mile 2 underneath the bridge down to Droba Junction, Maza is looking pretty good at the moment. And we can also tell you that the return journey from Maza down to Total Fuel Station, slightly busy. That's between Ekomog to Car Wash. But beyond that point, it's good up to Suru Alaba. Alakija Environ, still very much in good shape, both in and out. So we can tell you Mile 2 is looking pretty good this morning. Around the construction corridor, talking about the Ifako Gudu expansion joint repair works. It is slow if you're coming in towards the toll gate. All right, so it's a pretty slow. That's inwards the Ifako. So backlog is somewhere around Yanowuru right now. But beyond the construction side, it is pretty good all the way through the toll gate, heading towards Lagos Ibadan Expressway, all looking pretty good as well. All right, so you can also join the conversation this morning. We are looking at the forthcoming local government elections. It's 7 days away, by the way. Are you ready? Do you have your PVCs ready? It's said that the local governments are the closest to you. So are you ready to really cast your vote and ensure that it really counts? Honorable Kola Taiwo is here with us. He's a former member of the Lagos State House of Assembly, also former member of the National Assembly as well. Let's look at the role that citizens can play to really make this successful. Honorable Kolawole Taiwo, what roles can we play?
We should come out on that day, be peaceful, go out to cast your vote, and have trust in the empire of the election. You know, because let me give you a quick example that I forgot when I was talking.
Right.
You know, I want to thank the Attorney General of the Federation when he told the governor-elect of Edo that he cannot dissolve the local government. Therefore, in Edo today, we have a state governor of APC, and most of the local government chairmen are PDP. They are PDP. You know, they were there from an election conducted by a PDP government that lost election, and the Attorney General of the Federation, that is an APC government at the Federation, said no, because Attorney General is not representing any party. People don't get it. Attorney General is supposed to represent everybody. It's a political position.
Right.
Therefore, those are things that we need to be seen. You know, when he made pronouncement about Oshun and there was a problem, I said, why do you need to have problem? So he has done that same thing to a state that is controlled by the party that is serving under.
Right. So, but Honorable Kolawole Taiwo, can we really say that we can organize an election in any of the local governments in any of the states in Nigeria and the opposition will win? Is it possible?
My brother, if we do the right thing, you know, democracy is fantastic. I always tell people, there's no two way about it. Either you like it or not. But if it's just like saying, you know, education is expensive, let's try ignorance.
All right.
You know, democracy, and it's so slow because it's involved the three arms of government. And it is about politics, but there is one arm that interprets, that make judgment. It's an independent arm. It's supposed to be independent of the two,
right? And
it's supposed to be apolitical every time on issues.
All right.
Because if we are able to do that,
all right. Do you have a call? All right. Let's see if we can expand the discourse beyond the studios. 08099120777 and 09153877127. Are you ready for the local government elections coming up next week? And what are the suggestions that you think we can put in place to ensure that it is pretty successful? All right, so that we can have a better turnout. Most of the figures shows that in most of the local government elections we have just about 15% participation, which is quite unfortunate. All right, so you can share your thoughts with us. This one says, good morning, Victor and Honorable Taiwo.
Good morning.
What can ordinary voters do if political thugs show up at polling units? Moses Ajayi is sending this one. Moses, thank you so much. Well, that's always the thing, Honorable Taiwo. What can they do?
You know, well, on the issue of political thugs are thugs. They are supposed to be security apparatus around there. They are supposed to be policemen and all those other what they call paramilitary organization around there that can quickly arrest that. But I know, I'm sure. Let me promise that guy that there will not be such in Lagos.
Okay, let's see if I can take this call then. Hello there. Good morning. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah. Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, sir.
All right. Good morning. What's your name?
My name is Ibrahim Osatoyibola.
Your name is?
Ibrahim Osatoyibola.
Ibrahim from Egbeda.
Oyibola, Ibrahim Osatoyibola.
Okay, so are you up to voting age?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so what do you think? Are you going to vote next week?
which kind of party, sir? Is it APC or PDP?
Are you going to?
Local government?
That is
Yeah, local government.
Local government.
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to vote. If they are contesting around the area where I live,
You will vote, right?
yes.
Okay, that will be very good. All right, so I hope your PVC is ready.
Permanent voter's card.
Yes.
Yes, I have it.
You have it. Okay, good. So just go dust it up and get ready to vote next week. Is that okay?
Okay, sir.
All right. Thank you so much for your call. All right. I also need to hear from, and it's even a lady, by the way. So good. But for you guys, are you ready? Are you ready for the elections coming up next week? And of course, do you have your permanent voter card ready to really cast your vote? Doesn't matter the party in your locality. Have you even tried to have an engagement with the political parties there to find out who is contesting, who's representing you? Do you have that? Hello there.
Good morning, Victor.
Good morning, sir.
Oluwaluko is my name.
Oluwaluko, it's nice to hear from you.
Congratulations for that, our fantastic award.
Thank you.
Well.
Very.
Yeah, good morning, Honorable. I have my question for you.
Good morning, my brother. Good morning.
Yes. I'm hearing you repeating, if we do the right thing, who are the we that will do the right thing? Voters are really going through a lot in this country. Who are the we? I want you to explain the we. That we. I want you to explain. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Okay. Thank you. I'll try to spell it out. I said there are three arms of government.
All right.
And the two are even serious political arms. Take, for instance, the legislature sometimes take decisions based on the position of their party. The executive does things based on the position of their party. But the judiciary supposed not to give political judgment.
Yeah.
You know, there are difference between the true legal judgment and political judgment. We know it. When they come up with political judgment at Supreme Court, take for instance, I remember when we were running to Supreme Court to force the National Assembly to do their bidding of the creation of the local government.
All right.
And they silence about it. And we went to court. The president of that seized the local government funds. And when it was time, it was proven that we created the local government genuinely. We've done the whole thing. And even you know the funniest thing, the judges said we have made a correct law.
All right.
And now,
just a second. Let me see if I can take this call.
Okay.
Yeah, let's be calling. Hello there.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Tunde.
Tunde, how are you doing?
I'm very good.
And where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Oteri.
Oteri. Tunde, thank you so much. Are you going to vote next week?
Am I?
Are you going to be voting next week?
Yeah, I will.
Okay.
I should.
All right. You have a question for the Honorable?
Yeah, my question is with advancements in technology and all that, you know, we have finger facial technology and all.
Yeah.
Why do we still use paper to do our voting?
Very good question. Okay.
Yeah, because technology will make it more transparent. So why are we not looking into using more of technology for the voting process?
Very good. Thank you so much, Tunde.
That's a very good question.
So, why we're not doing that?
Why we're not doing it? So, partly because, you know, that's why I said we need to strengthen local government. We are strengthening the national IBD, INEC. INEC has all these things that he was talking about. We need to ensure that the local government, the state independent electoral commission is strengthened to the point of having necessary instruments to carry out proper elections using those technologies. And you know, one way by which you can do it, if there is collaboration between INEC and at the federal level, okay, and the SEC at the state level, because they attract the same populace.
All right.
Therefore, the data and those instruments that he has raised, they are domiciled with the national INEC. Why can't they release to the SEC? Let them still use the same thing.
All right.
And that will have made the spending, reduce the spending on election. Because the SEC cannot have the same type of money
That INEC has.
All
right, let's get back to Oluwaloko's concern. I mean, when you're saying
yes, I was saying that at that point of judgment, they said the Lagos State House of Assembly have made correct law. For them to make pronouncement that the National Assembly should go and carry out their function, they said the process is inquit. That statement of inquit is political because they don't want to offend the president.
So let's put it in perspective now. I mean, if then you had judges that were courageous to say this is the right thing, some have said today's judges are not like that, and that has been infiltrated by your party. The Supreme Court, for instance, is being accused of giving political judgments, sometimes lacking the kind of interpretation that would be clear cut, so to say. And that's why you find that sometimes when Supreme Court give judgment these days, the interpretation is neither here nor there.
Can you give me an example of such? Give me an example, because I know that the one that was loud was the what they call it, the emergency rules. And if you look at it properly, the president followed the normal thing. And even then I was on radio. I told them that the president doesn't have absolute power on the emergency rule. That they should approach the National Assembly. The opposition fold their hands, and until the National Assembly supported the president.
Yeah, but you have a National Assembly that's going to be swayed by partisan politics.
My brother, if there is one National Assembly that's supposed to be very active, is this National Assembly. That there is none of the party have absolute control. So if two of the opposition decide to come together, they will give the ruling party problem at night.
All right, more reactions are coming in. This one says, good morning, Victor. How do we hold LASIEC accountable if we notice irregularities in voter register or logistics? You didn't put your name, but thank you so much. 09153877127. All right, is there anything we can do?
The people don't know that the election is a process. It's not a point thing. They've started this thing a long time. They have been calling for meetings with even the electorate. The parties have been meeting. They have been meeting with INEC. And until now, they have been doing that. They must have sent out phone numbers that people can call to complain. If you refuse to complain, they say silence means consent sometimes. And if you don't open your mouth and say this thing is wrong, it's a problem.
Okay. All right. This one says, good morning, Honorable Taiwo. How can we verify that the announced local government election results truly reflect the votes that are cast? Kunle from Oshodi. Kunle, thank you so much.
Can I tell you what we did during the last national election?
Tell me.
We put Fashola in the caliber of Fashola, former governor, at the collating center, at the party collating center. But he was in charge, and prior to that thing, he was showing the whole world that we have our own collating center, that we are collating results, and they set up a seamless process for the result to get to that collating center. And even before the result is announced, we know we won, because we are getting our own time and every time sent to us by people that are more interested in what we are doing than the ordinary person that is working with INEC. Therefore, everybody must know if a party doesn't have collating officers, agents at the center,
right? Then
that party will eventually complain, because he will not even have access to the result. If it is a serious party, you must, I know that even in America, there are more parties than the two parties that we normally hear when it comes to national election. Not Democrat and Republican. No, there are more parties under that. They limit their own exercise at the point where they want the change. If you are a party that you feel that this local government, I want to make a change from it, concentrate on the local government. Put all your resources there. At the day of the election, let them do this something and get your result online.
All right, so Kola Taiwo, what would you say to critics that says your party is stifling democracy?
I know it's not even possible. The Constitution, they have asked me that question before. I say, come on, let's start from the Constitution. The Constitution says we have the freedom of association, and that alone You can because I know that was what Gani Fahimi used when he wanted to open the door for multiple registration of party. He said we have freedom of association. I mean, then I was even against it because I know this association is not like the normal association where because this one take grants from the government. It has to do with the budget. Therefore, it must be guided because if you make it open, but then the jury says okay, it's right because it's a constitutional provision. Therefore, nobody can say anybody should not go to where he wants to go.
Right.
Two, and it's not even possible to have a one-party state. Let me give you the reason why it's not possible.
Why?
Even in APC, there are several factions. Because they say politics is about interest.
Right.
It's not enmity. If I love you and I want you to be the next president, I will be associating with you.
Yeah,
people that doesn't love you, even within your party, will not associate with you. They will associate with that. Therefore, it's not even possible to have a single party in just one party.
All right, there's another reaction here. This one says, good morning, Traffic Radio. A lot of us have PVCs but don't vote because we think the results are already decided. What can be done to build the trust of the people? Sheun Ibrahim, one of our very regulars. Sheun, thank you so much. So what do you think we can do?
Thank you for that. But let me just advise you. Please, let me beg you. Please go and cast your vote. Forget that one. Let's see what will happen. If you decide to keep your PVC at home because you have personally declared the result, then you don't need to blame anybody. Yes. What you are saying is like declaring the result before the election.
Okay, so but should we expect any surprises?
Do you know that you can only rig where you are popular?
Why do you say that?
You can't rig in the election where you are not popular. Take for instance, when during the last election at one of these our Lekki estates,
right,
they were saying LP1, LP2. Can somebody come there and rig for APC where they are doing that? No, they may even be, what they are even doing was even wrong because they lock the gate. There are some people that register in that polling booth that were not allowed to cast their vote.
All right, so let's begin to wrap this up now.
But those people cannot challenge them.
Yeah, because of time constraints. So what's your advice to Lagosians as it relates to this forthcoming election? Can we get a voter turnout that will be better than the last one we did in 2022?
My brother, I think we're supposed to be more serious about local government election now because the money they are even taking is like 4-5 times of what they are taking before. That's why you see some of them are doing a lot, some are not doing. You should come out. Let's cast vote. Let's tell the people that we are conscious of what is happening. If you are not conscious of what is happening, if you present as if you are not conscious of it, then you will not complain.
All right,
it's wrong. Everybody must come out and carry out their civic responsibility of voting.
Okay, then we'll leave it at that for now. Honorable, it's nice having you in the building. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Okay, so we're trying to dissect the role of citizens in ensuring a free and fair local government elections in Lagos State. And Honorable Kola Taiwo, who's former member, House of Representatives, and also former Deputy Speaker of Lagos State House of Assembly, has been taking us on this excursion. So our message to you is please pick up your PVCs, dust them up and get yourselves ready. Next Saturday is going to be the D-Day where we all go out to vote leaders at the local governments. We have to go. The program this morning has been produced by none other than Dio Anthony. Maximum shout out to her. And also in the building this morning, I say big thank you to Kunle Martins, who's also an assistant to the Honorable. Thank you so much for being here. Of course, to our social media team, Okpayemi Shodunke and Remi Aloko, we do appreciate you. Our executive producer is Tayo Akonle. My name is Victor Oteri. Have a great Saturday. I'll be back by 10:15 for Maritime Today.